What is up, beautiful souls? I'm Destry. Welcome back to Knights of Light. And today I want to talk about addiction. I suffered from addiction for many years, for a very long time. And I have gotten clean. And I have thought about it energetically, spiritually. I've done so much work in this process and what happens when you change your energy from addiction and reverse it in another direction. Because what is addiction at its purest form? Through me suffering from it and all these other friends and where I've been and talking to a lot of people, addiction is taking something outside of the body to change your emotional state. That means using drugs, somebody else like love, or creating chaos, creating anything outside of yourself or grabbing onto anything outside of yourself to really change your emotional state. See, inside addiction, when we are truly inside of it and we are plugged in energetically to that addiction grid, that nasty, that grimy addiction grid that takes all our vital force energy, when we take that and we plug in, it literally takes all our vital force energy and we take all our manifestation energy, all our life energy and put it into that. Okay, how many of you out there, drug addiction, love addiction, sex addiction, whatever addiction, you could literally manifest the drug, the person, anything you want in that moment in time, the money to get it, just the way to grab onto it. How many of you could manifest that in a pure second? No matter what, you were able to get it. You would find a fucking way to make sure you had that day in that moment. I know I did. I would find any way, and I could find any way to receive money, to receive anything I needed, free drugs, somebody else to buy it for me, whatever. I would receive that and I would find it that day. How much energy, how much of my vital force energy and your vital force energy did it take to manifest something like that? I mean, just imagine it. I mean, that takes a lot. I mean, you're tired, putting all this focus and this energy into something that is not even you. But your energy is the one creating it, creating the circumstance. It just shows you, if you look at it now, how powerful of a soul that you really are. It took me many years, even through being clean, to realize how powerful I actually was. What would happen if we took that energy and we reversed it and we put it into ourselves and into our own life and focused on something we're passionate about, our loved ones, our kids, our family, our jobs? If we took that, reversed it, and put all that energy into something that we love and care about and is that passionate about, imagine the manifestation power that you could have. Imagine what you would be able to create when you could create something out of nothing to get the drug that you wanted, to get the love, the sex fix that you wanted, any type of fix that you wanted. Imagine if you took that energy and just put it into something else and watch it grow. Because we are so powerful beings, but a lot of us are using our energy for the wrong things. We are pushing it in the wrong direction. And we are not using God's or the universe's energy for it. We are literally using our own energy and we are depleting our souls. We are depleting ourselves through trying to obtain this. So if we reverse the energy and use that pure energy inside of us that we are able to harness and use and unplug from that addiction grid and plug it in anywhere else that would make us thrive in life, we could manifest anything. Literally beautiful things. Manifest the family that you want, manifest the money that you want, manifest the life, just the life that you want and that you have the potential to go out there and grab because you deserve it. You can earn it. But sometimes it is hard. But out there being in that addiction, out there every day, hustling, trying to get it. Wasn't that exhausting? I mean, I think that was 10 times more exhausting than what I try to do now, because what I do now is I'm passionate about it. I love life. I love to try to help other people reverse that energy and push it into something great and show them how powerful they really are. I mean, it's crazy. It literally blew my mind when I realized, when I was out there using drugs and on the run and everything, what I could manifest to be able to get that, to be able to get what I needed that day, that moment, that second. And when I realized that, I kind of like had this epiphany, because I do all this spiritual work and everything. It's like, if I take that energy and I harness it and I use it for something greater and something bigger and everything else that I'm passionate about towards my loved ones and my family, everything would grow and prosper. Because now that energy is being used for something good instead of using that energy for something negative. Because when I use that energy for something negative, such as the addiction that I was thriving in, when I used it in the addiction, I would get arrested, I would, get sick, my car would get wrecked, I'd hit a deer, something bad would always happen. And I was like, why does something bad always happen to me? And in those times, I would literally think that I deserved that bad thing. But really, it was the energy I was putting out into a negative source. I was getting negative reactions. I was getting negative energy back, because that's what I was doing. I was using it, I was plugging into negative things and getting negative energy back. Now, I know in life we can't avoid negativity, we can't avoid trauma and triggers, and I'm not telling you to avoid that, because that is ridiculous. Because, a lot of us do addictions because we suffer from so many traumas and triggers, and we don't even realize what they are. So if we get clean and then we use all this energy to avoid everything that was making us suffer in the first place, that's not really healing, and that's not really putting your energy towards what's better. Also, put your energy towards trying to heal these triggers, find out what these traumas are, dig deep into the soul and where they come from. In my belief system, the universe will show me and give me answers from past lives and everything like that, and where these things stem from, what happened in life that truly triggered these events. So when we also put our energy into helping fix the trigger, I got to put myself into a triggering situation to be able to realize what that actually is, to be able to heal it, not just avoid it and be like, oh, get away from me with your negative energy, I'm all clean and pure now. That's not realistic, right? So inside healing yourself, we need to figure out those traumas. We need to get inside them, those triggers, because we would also never be able to put our vital force energy and that energy, that manifestation energy, into something good if we're scared of entering something that's going to trigger us. And we might not even know what that trigger is, so we just avoid everything. So we need to heal these triggers. We need to step into these triggers and these traumatic situations and put our energy there and our focus to actually heal them too. To actually see what's happening. And when we put our actions into something and we see it, we can change our emotional state and our mindset and how our soul and everything reacts to that situation. To then it would no longer affect us. Because we can't hide in these situations when we're clean and figuring things out. Because when we're using or doing anything in addiction, we're also hiding and avoiding all the emotions, all the traumas, and anything that would affect us, right? So we really need to, focus on all those things. Taking that energy that we use so hard, put it into everything we're passionate about, everything we love, and also put it into figuring out the fears and the traumas and the triggers and everything that threw us off course in the first place. That had us take this energy and put it somewhere else because we didn't want to handle it. Well, now it's time to handle it because we're strong enough to handle it. And once we figure out we are strong enough to handle these traumas and these triggers and these situations, we can prosper and become more abundant than we were before. Because when we avoid things also in these triggers and not putting our energy there, we become energetically stagnant. Or things will still go wrong because we're not really putting our energy anywhere or figuring anything out. So to become more abundant, become more prosperous, we also have to heal through these situations and not just avoid them. We have to be about them. We have to understand them. We have to hold them to understand them. Like if I was stepping into a triggering situation, like in a relationship, I would just avoid those conversations and that part would never get healed. Like when I was using drugs in a relationship, when those situations or anything came up like that, I would use. But now when I was getting clean and those same situations came up inside of a relationship, I would avoid the conversation, I would change the conversation, I would do anything. So I still wasn't healing or putting my energy in the right spot because now I couldn't even have the relationship I still wanted because I couldn't handle the triggering situation, so I would just avoid it. Or I would either just not get into a relationship at all because I was just scared of the whole relationship issue. But we need to figure out, we need to harness and, deal with some family members, friends, and everything, and do the healing, the spiritual work, and really figure these things out. Because once we realize how much energy we put into our addiction and where we put that energy before and what we were plugged into, and we change it to a positive thing, and we change it, because, how many skills do we learn out there trying to survive as an addict? We can change those skills into a positive thing and reverse it and totally unplug from that addiction grid and stop feeding that motherfucker and plug it into something beautiful and something that actually makes our life beautiful. I love you all. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe, hit the like button, support the channel, and also comment below. I would love to hear your feedback. I love you all. See you next time. Remember to stay woke and continue shifting the paradigm.